What's up, guys? I'm Uncle Freedom, coming to you on a glorious and well-deserved day off. So how's it going? First things first, go ahead, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. Have you checked out another YouTuber like Modern Tactical Shooting or regular guy training? Have you checked out one of these guys and seen their videos? You probably should, because the more good voices we have out in the Second Amendment world, the better. Spend less time on drama, more time supporting more creators. Reality. So first, what we're going to talk about today. This would normally be the part where I would tell you all about what you could do and what you can do and what all this other stuff. We're just going to negate all of that. If you're looking for more information on me, how to get in touch with me, or the gear that I talk about, take a look down below. There's a link that goes to violentalgebra.com. That is my website where I sell absolutely nothing YouTube, so it does not violate your community standards any way, shape, or form. That I have a link that goes to my website where I produce educational content. So please take it over there and check it out. Also, a huge shout out goes to the biggest supporter right now of the channel, and that is Outlast Supply. If you were looking for survival food, water filters, to knives and tools of all kinds, the good people over at Outlast Supply are where I will tell you to go, because they make some awesome stuff and they're good people. So this video has been made a few times, and it has failed a few times to get past all screening to get published on YouTube. I figured I would give this one more go, and we'll see how it works. But today we're going to talk about restraints. Now, I know somebody's going to be like, this is a cop thing. Not always, man. Like, every citizen and cop has always seen on TV that stereotypical, hand me that extension cord, or hand me that phone cord, which we don't really have phones anymore like that. You know, hand me this duct tape, right? And they duct tape the guy and they secure him, right? Or they zip tie him or whatever. That cannot always be the option. Why would you need those if you're not law enforcement, right? Well, I mean, if a dude came into your house and he was violent and you did what happens to violent people when they break into your house, and you were trying to make sure he didn't cause any more harm, so you cuffed that dude after you did it, pretty sure you're going to be okay. I will tell you to check your local laws, because for some reasons, handcuffs tend to get like relegated to the same place that like SAPs and truncheons do against something you shouldn't have. Now, I would say that having cuffs in a kit is an essential for even your concerned citizen out there, because you never know. But I would tell you, as law enforcement, they're an essential part of my life. Now, for those people that have just figured out, like, holy crap, that dude's a cop. Yep, 100%, I'm a cop. I am very open about the fact that I'm a cop, but I'll also tell you, you probably now met a lot of cops like me. I'm a super chill dude, always have been. I come from a very large area with actual gang problems and real drug problems. And I learned a long time ago that respectful and nice as a standard is usually the best option you can have. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But like I said, cuffs are super important. So let's just give you an example. Say the proverbial balloon has flown, or even not, and you are the person on the ground in the arena that day, and you happen to find yourself in whatever armed situation you found yourself in. The worst day of your life has now taken course. You've been able to subdue this individual, but in order to ensure that he can't do anything else, you cuff this dude or restrain him to make sure he can't hurt anybody else. That's pretty important, man. A base level of knowledge goes a long way on handcuffs. And why I say base level knowledge is because not all cuffs are the same. And it's kind of what drew this video to me. So in the world of handcuffs, you have your old standbys. You have the Smith & Wesson 100s, you have the 100 hinged, you have peerless cuffs, and you have Hyatt cuffs. Those are kind of the standards for law enforcement and always have been. Something that looks very much akin to this, right? Like very standard. I got keyholes on one side of the cuff. My double lock is this hole right here on the end, right? So for those of you that don't know how cuffs work, you have push to put on, right? And then you have a double lock. And once you double lock this cuff, push in on this, that cuff won't get any tighter. That's important, because if you get a guy in the back seat and he starts rustling around and he cuts circulation off to his wrist, that's on you. You should have paid more attention. But one of the things that we see with these is we would have to put this on, go one way to pop the secondary lock, and then go back the other way to release the cuff. It's kind of a pain. Also, you add into the fact that the keyholes are only on one side. It's really easy to be in the wrong position to put these things on. So enter ASP, who decided one day to make a better cuff. So for those of you that don't know, ASP stands for Armament Systems and Procedures. They were founded in 1976 by Dr. Kevin Parsons. They were described to me as a training company that sells gear to fund their training habit. That's true. For those law enforcement guys out there, ASP offers a ton of free training throughout the year, every year. So check that out as an option you can. Because again, almost all law enforcement agencies are some form of defunded. But ASP has also become synonymous with something like the expandable baton, right? The expandable baton was the thing that took us away from like a PR-24. Now, here's the thing. The old timers will tell me that the PR-24 is still awesome, and I will agree with them. It is still pretty awesome. But that's kind of where ASP became known. It's kind of become synonymous. When you see an expandable baton, you call it an ASP. Now, they decided to change the cuff game. So in about 2004, they set about designing a better mousetrap, if you will, a better cuff, right? Something that was safer for not only the cops on the ground, but also was safer for the person being cuffed. Now that may strike you as weird. Like what? Cops don't care about that? Yes, we do. And you want to know why cops care about cuffs being more comfortable and safer? Because every cop you meet has been cuffed probably no less than 1,000 times. Like 100%. I will tell you that cops have, I was cuffed so many times in the academy, my wrists were purple and blue from the thing. Because what would happen is a new recruit would come in and double bar me, just bam, and it won't go on, right? It happens. So every cop you meet has been cuffed an inordinate amount of times because we have to become proficient at the skill. The reason we become proficient at the skill is because not everybody wants to go to jail. I say that in jest. Like, there's a few. There are some that are very excited when you're going to take them to jail. But overwhelmingly, most people don't want to go to jail. So as a cop, we typically fall in the realm of about 4 different categories. We find the drunk, mentally disturbed, or high crowd. Those are all, and they're all going to act almost the same, right? Because it's an altered mental state. Your next up is going to be domestics, right? So a domestic disturbance of some kind, that is 2 people that live under the same house that can't get along all of a sudden. Those are super dangerous. That is the most dangerous call you'll ever attend as a law enforcement officer, because everybody's super bad when you get there. That's the next one. The next thing we're going to deal with are street level criminals that are not in the system really well, right? They're young, they're new to this whole world. Wow, I got a hair in my eye. And then we deal with the hardened criminals, the guys that know the system back to front. They understand how it's going to work, and it is what it is. So outside of domestic, who would be the most dangerous thing you would think I was going to face off against? Right, the hood rat new criminal guy, right? Because just like a baby rattlesnake that can't contain all its venom, those guys think some of the stuff they're about to do once they're about to get arrested matters, and it doesn't, because they end up catching a whole bunch of other charges and staying in jail a whole lot longer than if they'd done what the experienced criminal did, which was stopped. So when ASP came out about this, they decided they were going to introduce a better cuff. So what they came out with was the original Ultra Cuffs, which I don't have a pair of, but the original Ultra Cuffs looks a lot like these. The frame on it was made out of polymer, making them extremely lightweight, but causing a huge problem, which is because people don't always go into cuffs, and you might have to fight that dude to put the cuffs on him, usually drunk and high people. When you do it, and you go to lock this cuffs on this guy, what would happen is if you torqued on these at all, it would actually flex the polymer frame and cause the bow to go to the outside, causing it not to lock up, which is not good at all. So they went about changing the system, and you went to a Gen 2. So these are Gen 2s. Very nice, right? I know somebody's going to be like, blue line my ass. That's a identifier so that when mine are in a pile of everybody else's, I can find mine. I have a yellow one too. Thin yellow line. But that's all it is. Those are actually replaceable keyways in here, which is pretty cool because you can change the locking mechanism out if you've got like some damage or you need to make the cuffs last longer. So all of mine have the aluminum bow here itself, with aluminum frame with the steel bow. Now you'll notice on the steel bow, it's got contour points. What that is when I go to push it onto people, it makes the force a lot more consistent going around the cuff itself. Pretty cool. These have been around the block and been used. I've carried these for 3 years and beat the crap out of them. They're very fast, very smooth, very easy to use, and safer for everybody involved, because when I go to put you into cuffs, if you're being a douche, and I can do that and get you locked up faster, the odds of you continuing to fight, because there's this phenomenon that cops all know about, and that is when you put one cuff on the dude, that's when, if it's going to go bad, it's going to go bad right then, because that's when the reality sets in. You're adding new jewelry, and that dude's not happy about it. Now, once the second one goes on, all fight stops. You'll fight again, but it'll usually be when you're trying to get into the car. Just how it works. So they kind of they changed this. Now, the reason they changed it is because of that first part. They also weren't really made for guys that work street level because we use cuffs a lot. So it led to this Gen 2 with the aluminum body. So again, I have a steel bow and aluminum frame, replaceable keyways, and we changed something from the old school version. You see this keyway here and the key slot there. What do you know? They're on both sides of these. Now to put the double lock, which the double lock on these, I can push this through all day, right? Can't get it out. But if I double lock them by putting my key into this slot and popping this over, I can't close them anymore either, which is good because it protects people from getting their crap pinched up. And the cool part about these is when I put the key in, I can literally turn one way. There went my double lock. There went my lock. So I'm not fumbling around having to go separate ways to do everything. It's a lot faster, safer to get the cuffs adjusted on people because that does happen. The biggest thing for me is they're just fast. Like these things are so fast and smooth. Like I can swing it through. Also annoying people in your car. But anyway, they're super fast, very smooth. Like I said, these are about 3 years old every day. And like I said, very fast, very good for when guys decide they don't want the second cuff. And like I said, the secondary lock being one of those huge deals. Now, here's the thing, ASP. So why would you pick ASP? So if you pick their standard Ultra Cuff, you're looking at an aluminum frame with a steel bow. You're looking at a good lock set that's easy for you to adjust and stuff. But they are kind of expensive. You're in that $60 range to get your hands on a decent set of ASP cuffs. Now, compare that to things like my Hyatts, which are my Chief's favorite cuffs. But these, like, I can actually backload these. So now they're easier for me to index and put onto people. I still don't like these that much. And the people that have had them don't like them. I've had them on me a lot. So for the budget-conscious group, ASP introduced what they called the Sentry Cuff. Right? So this is a stamped steel frame, same bow, same lightning fast, butter smooth. I have the exact same kind of locking mechanism. Keep that double lock. And I have the same actual keyway functions to make this guy work in a cheaper platform. These are like the same price as Peerless or Hyatt. That's pretty cool. And you get the like made in the USA, bomb-proof construction, what have you. The sovereign or the discerning citizens cuff, sovereign citizen. I made it funny. Anyway, so everything being faster. Now, the replaceable lock sets are cool, cuff adjustment without taking them off, but ASP is never one to kind of sit back on their laurels. So this is the brand new Ultra Plus cuff. So I have the same aluminum bow, I have the same steel, aluminum frame, I have the same steel bow with multiple contacts to make this smoother. But you'll notice I don't have a slot on this guy. I have a keyhole like normal, but you'll see this little yellow tab on the side? That's actually my double lock. So once I put this on, now it's double locked with my finger. And taking it off is much the same way. There it went, there it goes, right? I can do this safer. So if you look here at this guy, that's it. And now I can adjust that if I needed to. Really cool. So I will say that's probably the cooler parts of ASP cuffs. Now I will tell you that these cuffs, and I know I'm not alone because I've talked to other people, ASP cuffs are the one cuff that I have actually gotten a compliment from a guy that was being arrested, and he thanked me for having nice cuffs. Now I know somebody's gonna be like, that's bull crap because bad guys don't respect cops. You would be wrong. Much like I told you a minute ago that the most dangerous thing I encounter is like a baby rattlesnake, a new gang, a new hood rat doing hood rat shit all over town, right? That dude is dangerous. You get a real criminal, like the real ones, right? Those dudes function off of respect. If you are respectful as a default, that dude will be respectful to you. Because most of the really bad dudes understand, like they get the game, right? They go do things and then they try to get away with it. And then cops come in and they try to catch them doing the thing. That's what happens. It's a game. It goes back and forth. Sometimes you take the L. Sometimes you take the W. It is what it is. But your actual like hardened dudes, your dudes that have been arrested a lot, they know the score. They know what's going to happen. They know it isn't worth fighting the cops because they're going to get a whole bunch of other charges thrown at them for fighting the cops. They know it's dumb. So they don't do it. They go with you. They're just like, hey, man, can I have a cigarette or something before we leave? Yeah, cool, man. Let's here. You got a lighter in your stuff? Like, where's it at? You get it in like You ain't got nothing in there that's gonna get to jail and get you a worse charge, do you? And that might be something cool. Why don't you have somebody else grab it? Okay, like they're the ones that are super chill. They understand the game. They know they're finna go to jail for it. They understand that they did something that could get them caught, and they got caught. It is what it is. I'm never gonna be disrespectful to that dude. There's no point, right? That guy's life is about respect, and that's how that works. But yeah, those guys, I've cuffed them. Like, man, them are the nicest cuffs I've ever been cuffed with. I'm like, good, man. Oh, I appreciate that. I aim to look out for you, right? But like I said, they ain't dumb either. Cops get cuffed a lot, and trust me, you get an overzealous new person that double bars your wrist bone, it's bad. And if they don't oil their cuffs, because that's another thing, they won't oil them up. So what happens is they go to push and it sticks before it pops. Yeah, that's bad. Versus something like the ASP where it's just, it's nothing to get these cuffs on. Like, they're awesome. And like I said, if you're budget conscious or your department's budget conscious, the Century Edition is just as good. I will tell you, they do not fit in the same kinds of holsters. So the new holster for the Ultra Plus cuffs looks a lot like this. So we would take this guy, and it's got a pad down on the bottom. So we're going to take it, we're going to pop it on, and then that little thing comes up. So this is how it rides on your belt. I'm actually going to be swapping these out coming up. But that is the ASP Ultra Plus cuffs. So like I said, this video isn't for everyone, but it is kind of for everyone, because every Minuteman, someone that values their self and views themselves as a protector and a defender of those that cannot protect and defend themselves, having a base knowledge of cuffs and maybe having a set of cuffs, if that day should ever happen, isn't a bad idea, right? And I can tell you the most maintenance-free, gonna work cuffs I have ever held, and I have held all of them, are the ASP cuffs, right? The ASP, I've played with the original ASP Ultras with the polymer body. They were super smooth. They just a little too bendy for people like me. To the Centuries, which are the budget variant, they're super nice. To the Ultra Plus, which is this guy with a much easier to use situation, very lightweight. To the new Ultra Plus, or the Ultra Plus cuffs, right? The new ones with the better secondary lock. They're awesome. And like I said, I know this video is not for everyone, but it's one of those things, like, I have been so enamored with ASP and kind of what they're doing within this market space that I felt like I needed to talk about it. It's really cool. And like I said, maybe it's not for everybody, but I guarantee you it's for somebody you know. So guys, I am Uncle Freedom. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And until next time, I'll see you later.